definitely. Let me get another question.
Repeat that so everyone can hear. I think that's important, and I don't think that everyone can hear it.
She was just talking about the raising of the kundalini, that's what the two serpents represent, ultimately opening up the pineal gland. And I'm sorry, but while she was saying that, I was daydreaming and listening to your question a moment ago about Saddam. Saddam, did you realize that Genghis Khan was the Washington Post man of the millennium? Honestly. I mean, he's presented as this Mongol warrior, slaughtered millions of people, not millions, but hundreds of thousands of people. They made him the man of the millennium the last 1,000 years because he united East and West. Well, Saddam comes out in the paper a month or so ago and says, oh, George W. Bush is nothing less than the grandson of Genghis Khan. And much like Genghis Khan's grandson, he was set up by his grandfather, but in this case, George W. Bush was set up by his father. And so Saddam is warning his people, saying history is repeating itself here. Genghis Khan, George Bush, and his son, George W. Bush, are back in business in America. And what they're going to do is they're going to set up Iraq, destroy it, and rebuild it. But the problem is that Genghis Khan's dynasty did not last. They were destroyed within 70 years. So, I'm sorry, so when you were asking that, I was listening to her other question. Yeah, one more question. Yes, sir. Yeah.
In the cannabis or the grapes and what is the substance?
You have to go to France and I'll tell you. The reason I'm saying that is because I know what it is, and there's some researchers in England that are also working with it that are putting it into a form that will be accessible. And so I don't want to say what it is because I don't want you to go out and get some on your own and hurt yourself, which you will do, which could happen. But these folks have got it in such a manner that you can begin to start bringing it into your own body system. And what I'm trying to do is make sure that they have it together before I reveal what it is. And then perhaps after France, we can all get back together again this fall, and I can do a whole day or a whole couple hours just on what that is and how I believe it will interact with your body system. And this isn't, this is something it's known, it's been researched, and this isn't something that William Henry is saying that does this. What I'm going to present to you is what other people that know about this type of thing are saying that this will do.
I'm wanting to do research on that myself, and I'd like to know what it is.
Okay, well, please keep in touch, and we'll get back together on this later in the fall. So I wish I could take more questions. I'm going to be back at the... James is telling me to do this, which I think what he means is I should do this. And we're back to the pond cone.
What about that Ireland trip? You said you were going to say something about that.
Right. I got tremendously excited when this announcement came from these archaeologists in Ireland saying, hey, we found underneath the hill of Tara in Ireland, not only did we find that there was 300 enormous oak trees on top of the hill of Tara, but we also found that there's this enormous subterranean facility underneath. And so I wrote an article about the discovery of the secret throne of the Illuminati in Ireland, and I put it up on my website. And I felt to myself that it was important because it was important to me. Here's another thread. You can go through all of the incredible books of Zecharia Sitchin and learn a lot about Ea, but it only goes this far. But here in Ireland, in a very accessible place, with very readable mythology, is the entire story being acted out, and it's older than the Sumerian. And so I'm excited about this kind of thing, and I put the article up, and Lawrence Gardner reads the article and says, hey, this is new and important information. And then I start getting some emails from a couple of different Irish researchers. First group says, we think your methods are pretty unorthodox, we think you're full of it in this area here, you're dead wrong over here. And where do you get these interpretations of these words? And by the way, would you join our team? We're getting a license to dig for the Ark of the Covenant at the Hill of Tara. And one of their objections that they had for me was, I had the audacity to quote women. You're kidding. But they were still willing to accept me nonetheless. This is some kind of club they got going or something, and I understand why they feel that way. I don't happen to agree, and so I was kind of disappointed in that. And then another group gets in touch with me and say, hey, we're also doing the same thing. We'd like you to come over. And these guys are totally, they're Sichonites. Let's just put it that way. They're coming at this. They live in Ireland. They're very much interested in the 12th planet scenario and approaching Ea from this perspective. They've been all over Tara, Newgrange, the whole area, looking at it, these artifacts from the perspective that this is indeed one of Ea's locations. So what I did, I said, look, there's a motorway that they're building right now that's about to go right through this area and will destroy this subterranean facility. And I'm saying, this cannot happen. Because I can't go to Iraq today looking for the secrets of Ea, but I can go to Tara in Ireland. And we're going. So I said, look, I've got a radio interview coming up on Coast to Coast AM. What I would like to do, with your permission, is invite anybody that would like to go with me, so that when William Henry goes there, it's not just a guy. He represents a lot of people that are interested in this and will help to put pressure on the Irish authorities, who are pretty decent people, to bring this information forward. It's not like so much the Dead Sea Scrolls story, where there's so much politics and so much crap that goes on behind the scenes that we still don't have a full translation of the Dead Sea Scrolls. It's been 50 years. They withhold this because they're terrified of what you and I might discover. And so what I'm wanting to do is a couple of things. One is I've got an Ark Cabal research group that I'm hosting through my website, williamhenry.net, where you can sign up. And what I'm going to be doing is providing addresses and information about what's going on in Ireland, and then also going to be taking a tour over there in July. They've invited me to come over and give a seminar and this kind of thing, and it's going to be probably a relatively short trip, but it's just going to be the first step of really bringing this forward and calling attention to what's happening in Ireland, and of course tying it in with the whole 12th planet scenario and giving us an opportunity to bring this information out. Because I feel that once we do, as I've shown, the original religion of Ea is Gnostic Christianity. The followers of Akhenaten in Egypt, who was, of course, is called the heretic king, who was murdered because of these beliefs. The Cathars, who lived in southern France, were exterminated to prevent this information from coming forward. It's just been constant throughout history, but now it's almost too late for us to play those kind of games. We have to